And we welcome you inside Atlanta's Silverbacks Park. We are in the main stadium. Some rumors that we're going to the upper field. That is not going to happen. We were given the main stadium. So appreciate you joining us here in Silverbacks Soccer with Jordan Coker. I'm Justin Hanover. And a very interesting scenario today is it's a fairly meaningless matchup between Chattanooga FC and the Atlanta Silverbacks, the champions of the Southeastern Conference and the visitors. The Silverbacks on fire of late, will finish second no matter what. So both teams with a bye going into the playoffs. Tuesday we'll see a couple of matchups. We'll have New Orleans hosting the Georgia Revolution, and then Asheville City will travel to Inner Nashville on Tuesday. Chattanooga will get the lower seed remaining. The Silverbacks will get the higher seed remaining, and that will be the Southeastern Conference semifinals. We will not have any introduction, so we'll just let you know the lineups. First for Chattanooga, Nick Croucher in goal. So makeshift lineups here. This game, like I said, not exactly need to come all guns a-blazing. Steven Ricketts, Gabriel Gonzalez-Bayo, and Damian Gaiona in the back. Meanwhile, in the midfield of what's listed as a 3-5-3 in effect, Drew Visconti, Paul Monels, Jared McWhorter, Pierre Boquet, Jose Francisco Ferraz, and up front Charles Clark and Jonathan Ricketts. Meanwhile, for the Silverbacks, Bryce Billington in goal. Theo, a little bit banged up yesterday. Apparently he will be okay, the conventional wisdom says, for Thursday. We'll see about that. We'll have in the back Pedro Leal. Saw Pedro in a couple of matches this year. Ibra Injai and Mo Isahaku in the middle, Sissoko on the outside. The usual midfield of late, Lasana, Ricardo Oliveira, Kebademba, and Aaron Walker. And then up front, Joa and Keika. So I bring in Jordan Coker. Very interesting night. Not exactly sure how to take this match, but when all is said and done, the Southeastern Conference is set with the top six.
Absolutely. Everything's set in stone. We're ready for Tuesday. Certainly excited to kick our feet up and watch the action that happens in Nashville and New Orleans. But the top two teams here squaring off. Maybe a preview of a championship game we could see a week from now in Chattanooga. So definitely some interesting lineups from both teams. Not wanting to risk injury, not wanting to show everything they've got either. So we'll see exactly how aggressive both teams are going to be tonight.
And it is interesting, though, going forward in the playoffs, if you go deep, home field is determined by points per game. So it's something to think about. So you certainly want to win and get 3 points here and extend your points per game. The Silverbacks, though, low enough where more than likely the upside isn't there versus the rest factor. Meanwhile, Chattanooga, well, they're a little bit higher up. They have their 27 points right now. They could get to 30 on 14 matches, so they would be above 2 if they get a victory here. So a win here tonight may be a little bit more important for the visitors, as it really could be the difference between hosting at Fort Finley down the line and making a lot of money for the club as they draw a ton of fans versus going on the road to, say, somewhere in Texas or maybe even all the way across the country when all is said and done.
Absolutely. Certainly you understand the incentive there for Chattanooga. For Atlanta, we've seen, as you mentioned, some changes on the back line. We've seen Ryan Marcano, Manu Moreno. We've made a lot of points about them this year. Their speed, their aggressiveness, especially their impact in the offensive lineup. But they're not going to be in the starting 11 today.
And a little bit of a delay here as the Chattahooligans yelling park in the parking lot. And why are they doing so? Well, there you go. Somebody's left a truck on the pitch. You know, now we've seen it all here at Silverbacks Park. Well done, being escorted off the field.
Would have been interesting to see how that played in there, especially on the corner kicks. I think would have made things a little interesting here.
Would have made it interesting. So good work from the center official coming on over. That's Chris Heinzman. Bryce Billington helping out. Sissoko and Ibra. Thomas Brigman will be AR1. Joshua Morgan, who was here last night, AR2. And Chris Clock, the fourth official. So both teams with a little bit of a makeshift lineup. We'll see some starters, some reserves. Atlanta up front will have Joa, the new proud papa. Congratulations once again. Keke Kamara coming off the hat trick just 24 hours ago. I expect these guys to be subbed out, though maybe playing around the first 45, maybe a little bit after. And then we'll see wholesale substitutions on both ends.
Well, that's going to be the question, Justin. Obviously, plenty of subs for Atlanta tonight. You've got 3 off days before you know you're going to be hosting someone in a semifinal here on Thursday. as we get underway.
And Atlanta in red, Chattanooga in the white with the blue shorts, and a little battle of the bands going here. The Chattahooligans always loud on that far side. The Atlanta Ultras doing great work here on the near side on the right of your screen. We'll take a look at them later. The head coach of Chattanooga, Bill Elliott, also the head coach of the University of West Florida, four-time GSC Coach of the Year, joined here in 2012. He's done an amazing job. 7 titles in all for Chattanooga, 6 straight. And they continue to be the class of the Southeast Conference there at Fort Finley. Coming down this left side, Jonathan Ricketts, the brother of Stephen. Pedro Leal on that tackle. That goes off with Pedro for a Chattanooga throw. They look to play it quick. Here's Abraham Lanzano, who's been so good of late. Scored another goal last night, leveled it at 2 apiece. Here's Leal, stayed in as Joa fights back to try and regain position. Cannot. Pierre Bouquet, who's so good in the middle of the pitch.
You can't talk highly enough about Lanzana. Obviously, another goal last night. We've seen him really play aggressive forward. He's played well, really, both offensively and defensively. And now, right here on this near side, talking about Pedro Leal as well. He played well, some minutes in that match. And the win over Nashville, starting aggressive here against Chattanooga.
And the foul there on Keba Demba, who had his brightest outing as an Atlanta Silverback last night. Really created a ton. An assist on the 3rd goal, I believe it was. Took a shot on goal. It was well saved and poked in by Keka for his 2nd. But really a bright ray last night. Keba Demba really looking comfortable, along with the captain, Aaron Walker, chasing that ball down. Spoke to Aaron afterwards, and he's really gelled nicely. Done a phenomenal job. Scored from the spot last night on what was the game winner, the 4th. But you talk about a guy really picking things up and getting comfortable, Jordan. Aaron Walker, the poster boy of that.
Well, you mentioned last night when you talked to Aaron, asking about that particular play, he turns the ball over in the middle third, and he's back with the defense to recover, and about how these midfielders are really kind of accountable to each other on any mistake they may make. They're really gelling, something that Aaron said they didn't have earlier in the year.
And they didn't. Very inconsistent earlier in the year. A couple of losses to Asheville, remember. They would give up some late equalizers. But right now, as confident as can be, 3 straight wins. Keka with that hat trick. Lanzana's on fire. Ricardo Oliveira with a midfield goal, the 2nd one in 2 years. We saw Alex Niarco Harley last year in the Open Cup match. Real exciting times here in Atlanta for the Silverbacks. Here's Pedro Leal looking long for Keka. That's not a bad ball. Just a bit long in the end and pulled in by the keeper in Croucher. Chattanooga with 4 goalkeepers on their roster. And here comes Sarge, played out of bounds by, call him Ibra, call him Injai, call him Taki, call him Sarge, call him whatever. But he's fresh and rested after not playing at all this week for the most part. A couple of mop-up minutes last night, I think that's about it.
Well, you talked to Abdul Bangur after last night's win over Emerald Force. Just talking about the depth of this central defense specifically, obviously the whole team, but a completely new set of center backs here. Austin Rainey and Abdul Bangur getting the start last night.
And they're interchangeable in the way that either can be deemed starters, any pair. You can mix and match them. You can get Austin with Mo. You can have Abdul and Ibra. So much talent there. Mo played on the NASL version of the Silverbacks. It's a 25-man roster. And pretty much, as Coach Nevis has said, he has confidence in all 25. Nil-nil here from the park. No scoreboard working at all tonight. So we'll estimate what time, probably in about minute number 6 or so right here. Minute number 5. Appreciate you joining us. Jordan Coker, Justin Hanover, sponsored as always by A+ Sports. New Wave Training. Also, Emory Medical do a phenomenal job. Preston in the gang. The physios here on the sidelines. My alma mater, the Emory Eagles. As Keba Demba taken down. He may need a physio after that attack.
Well, that's what you have to balance for both teams. Obviously, their position locked in. You're not going to want to risk a serious injury here. 3 days off for both teams before they're hosting semifinals on Thursday.
And certainly it doesn't need to be said, but if you pick up a red card tonight, you're not a smart human being. And anybody on a yellow probably should be subbed off before things can get any more heated. That's for both coaches, Coach Elliott, Coach Nevis, to really manage this properly. That's a good ball over the top, working 1v1. Njai comes over and does a nice job to contain that. Chattanooga, though, still in possession. A good 60-40 early, I'd say. Joao looking to run on. That's played all the way over the top, though.
Well, we saw Joao come on last night, obviously the birth of his child Friday night. So he did not play the full 90 yesterday, but getting the start tonight. We'll hope that guys like Joao Keika, guys we've seen maybe with a little bit of a short fuse at times, not going to get a red card or yellow card or anything to risk starting on Thursday.
And these teams have met once a couple of weeks ago, 4-1. Chattanooga won in that one. An interesting affair as the Silverbacks a little undermanned. No Keka and no others were up 1-0 into about the 75th or so minute, or at least somewhere in the 70s. And then the dam just broke, and Chattanooga with 4 goals in that last 20 or so minutes. Well, so really evenly matched teams.
We know it's a tough place to win up there at Fort Finley in Chattanooga. Obviously, if you're lacking some of your top scorers, it's going to be even more difficult to win. So you'd think fully staffed here, you know, both of these teams playing at home Thursday, maybe we see them play again up in Chattanooga a week from Saturday.
Well, it's favored to happen. Both teams will be at home on Thursday. Both teams the favorites to beat whoever they play. Oh, and then Santa, clever move, didn't work, and Pedro Leal, very well done. That'll go out, though, as the flag goes up.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, a great play, Pedro Leal. He made some great plays up in Nashville, and some good minutes he got there in that win. Great win on the side, even if Lansana can't quite bring it in.
Chattanooga looking to attack Visconti on this near side, looking to play on the weak side for a possible switch. Lealdo covers that. They continue to work that right side. That's been the attacking side so far, as Sissoko knocks it out.
Well, Justin, it took us 2 different dates, 3, 4 different venues.
We've gone on dates?
I did not think that this match was going to happen, but here we are. Now, I would think I'd take you on a better date than this, but
well, officially though, how do we talk about where this match is? It did start for 6 minutes in Dalton, so officially, how is this match in the scorebook?
That's a good point, actually.
I guess there was a scorebook. Little turnover. Jose Francisco Ferraz looking to go to goal. And Ricardo Oliveira doing what Ricardo Oliveira does. Dispossess. Njai plays simple to Walker. Aaron's captain's armband being taken down, and he's taken down on that elbow.
That's a good question, Justin. We didn't talk about that before the match. Obviously, around 6.5 minutes before things were rained out in Dalton on the 27th of June. So we may be a little further in than we think right now, but we'll find out around halftime, I suppose.
Well, I think they start the match over. I would think they started over. That's a great question, though. Here's Keka coming off that hat trick, lays that ball in, and headed away as Joa with a good angular run towards goal.
Pedro Leal, we mentioned him again on this near side. They had to switch if they wanted it. Not a lot of pressure on this near side. Chattanooga going to focus on Keika and Joel. A good strategy for any team playing this Atlanta Silverbacks team.
Here's Faraz. Again, trying to get on that right side. Really picking on that right side. Lofted over the top. Bryce Billington comes out. He's in for Theo Blushon, who we saw injure himself yesterday. I thought it was his hit. You wrote in the recap, knee.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it is.
I'm not sure exactly from what I saw. Again, same
lower body, like hockey,
yeah.
Right? Hockey playoffs, lower body.
Exactly.
Lower
you don't
body
want to be any more specific than that. So Theo, he obviously got back in the match, favoring his leg a little bit or hip, whatever it may be. But Coach Neva saying he should be good to go Thursday, so hopefully tonight's a night off, 3 days rest. We'll see if we see Theo back in the net Thursday night.
The Silverbacks, so completely fine in goal. Bryce Billington, extremely capable, played on the NASL Silverbacks, a quality goalkeeper, and dare I say the best NPSL goalkeeper in the league as a backup. You're not going to get much better than Bryce as a backup on this level.
Absolutely. It's not a position you want to be in, but you love that Bryce is there, obviously coming in last night against Emerald Force. And did not give up a goal, I believe. The second half goal was...
Gets the win.
Theo.
Right? He came in at 3-3, so I think Bryce officially, talk about a scorebook, will get that win if there is such a thing. Ibra looking to play through to Aaron Walker, not able to connect. And Bourquet, you see the big fella in the middle. High-quality player, number 6, and Pierre Bourquet. Control that midfield in that last win over in McDonough against the Revolution, a quality 3-0 victory to clinch the Southeast Conference. That's a good ball played across. Billington forced to shift over. Leal now defending. Little step over move by Visconti, plays it in, and you're not going to lose many head balls with Big Mo, and Sasaku just puts it out for the corner.
Yeah, you talk about the differences in the lineups tonight. That side, usually where we'd see Ryan Marcano, at least in this first half. He's obviously Ryan, Manu, both great with their defensive pressure. Chattanooga getting a step there on Pedro Leal. The header out, and that's going to be a set piece, or a corner kick, here for Chattanooga.
Well-deserved rest, though, for those two. Ryan and Manu going up the flanks, up and down, all night long, last night and on Wednesday. So those guys really can use a break. Corner kick taken, runners coming in from the 18, in-swinging ball. Bryce with a good punch.
Nicely
Joa
punched.
get onto it. No, tap back in. Leal jumping.
Chance there for Joao in the midfield, but still a great punch by Bryce. Not a lot of playing time, as you mentioned, but certainly knocked the rust off last night. Seems to be on point here early against Chattanooga.
A real nice run of late for Chattanooga. They've won 3 in a row and 4 of 5. They've closed the season out well, just like the Silverbacks. It's a Haku coming over with that ferocious defense. Nothing getting by Big Mo. So both teams really in fine form heading into the postseason. And there's Mo again with Injai and Isasaku in the back. You better get ready to play some physical ball. Bill Elliott, by the way, played at the University of Tennessee. A volunteer, has done a phenomenal job here. As I mentioned, also the NPSL Coach of the Year in 2014 and 15. Won some national titles, region championships. Really is quite possibly the best team, clout-wise, in the National Premier Soccer League.
Well, you know, there's certainly an aura about Chattanooga FC. Everything they've done in this league is to be admired and to what you aspire your team to be. I know that's certainly what Atlanta would like to be here. So, Elliott, great job there up in Chattanooga.
And the fan support is phenomenal. See the Chattahooligans down here. They'll fill it up. They had in their championship a couple of years ago, I believe, right around 15,000 people. And that is just absolutely amazing. They do just, I don't even know what adjective describes what this club has brought to this level of soccer. Well, it's the bar.
It's an exceptional job that they've done up in Chattanooga, and it starts at the top with Tim Kelly and the rest of their executive team. Just a great team both on and off the pitch.
Jordan Coker, Justin Hanover here at Silverback Soccer Live, minute number 15, presented by 8+ Sports and Emory Medical Center, our physios. You know, when we left last night, Jordan, some things weren't wrapped up. On the drive home, we finally saw what happened down at Pan American with New Orleans. We'll put a bow on that, losing 2-1 to Asheville City. And Greenville, when we left, were leading 1-0 against International. International, the defending champions at that point, were out, but they came back, won 3-2, only needing a draw. International went from moments of being eliminated to actually hosting on Tuesday. So the final standings broke down with Chattanooga in first, 27 points right now. Atlanta in second with 23. New Orleans is done on 23 as Atlanta tacks down this right side. Well saved by Keba. Atlanta will get a throw. New Orleans at 23. Nashville in fourth on 20. So Nashville will host Asheville on 18. They won the tiebreaker over the Revs. New Orleans will host the Revs. Alex Harley and those fellas will have to travel down about 7 hours to Pan American. And then eliminated were Greenville, who played so well at the end of the year, so well against us, and then the Emerald Force. So that's how it all shook out here in the Southeast.
I think when you look at last night, that's about as good as it can get. A chance on goal there.
It's a fun night.
It really was. A decision day in its truest form. The standings changing as we went through the night. Obviously a great rally there by Nashville at home. The defending champ's going to be in. Greenville out. As you mentioned, a great rally by them, but not a great start to the year, and that's going to end up costing them in the end.
It really felt like in the World Cup that match day 3 in the group phase, where you had teams, a matter of one goal this way, eliminated you or possibly can win the group. And that's what it really felt like last night. As that ball served in, is Sahaku, Oliveira on the header. It's been a nice controlled pace so far for the visitors. Jonathan Ricketts, who is listed as a forward, playing a little bit deeper back. His brother Steven. And the amazing part, they also have a sister in Maddie, who played on the women's team here with Chattanooga.
That's an
great family, the Ricketts family.
Impressive group of siblings there.
They venture forward down the middle. Atlanta retreating a bit. Shot hits off somebody. Off an Atlanta body. I believe that was Mo. And corner number 2 upcoming here.
Atlanta lucky there. The deflection almost coming to the feet of the attacker here on the near side. Able to just be a corner kick here for Chattanooga.
Again, no scoreboard, no sound in the stadium tonight. We almost had to play on the upper field, which is sort of a bandbox. Would have been interesting in Silverback lore, but at the last minute, we got a little bit of a reprieve as that ball is headed in. Mo looking for another header. Good tackle. Finally, Aaron Walker kickballs it out. So we are on the stadium here. A part of me, Jordan, even though it would not have been as high quality up there, would have wanted to see it. Balls going over the fence into the bushes. It would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting. I think it would have been interesting for us having to duck and dodge. Kylie Coker here on the camera probably having to pick the camera up and run if anything came our way, because we would have been at field level. We're certainly happy to bring this to you at our normal vantage point.
Would have been some good low-angle video. So still 0-0 here. Minute number 19, Silverbacks and Chattanooga, the class of the Southeast Conference. You look at both of these teams, Jordan, their records may not be as good as, say, a New York Cosmos or a Laredo. Here's Keka from distance, and it hits off Keba Demba. Unlucky. But I think the way this conference was this year, with the high-quality play and the parity for the most part, either of these two teams has a legitimate chance to go deep in the postseason.
Absolutely. I think whichever team comes out of this conference next Saturday as the champion is going to have a chance, and they're going to be underappreciated because of that record.
Ball served in a little bit too far by Lael. No issues there for Croucher.
Still some opportunity there for Atlanta. It's been mostly Chattanooga on the possession here. Atlanta able to regain here in the middle third. It's been a lot of prodding by the visitors so far.
Keka, little 1v1. Sissoko coming up to help. Here comes the Liberian sensation. Cuts to the middle. Looking for Lansana. Little miscommunication. The visitors look to break. Cannot get that as it was rolling downhill. Certainly happy Atlanta was able to clinch that 2 spot. Took a little bit of a bursting bubble here tonight in terms of ramifications. But certainly you want to pick up the 3 points and finish within 1 point of Chattanooga in the end.
Well, you'd absolutely prefer to not have all the marbles on this match tonight. Obviously no pressure on either team. Just kind of a test to see where we're at heading into the playoffs. But I think the bigger note here, the New Orleans Jesters, everyone kind of felt, they led the table a lot of the year.
Sure, but undefeated a season ago in the regular season.
Absolutely.
As well.
So I think we had some expectations for them and not quite able to uphold those, falling last night, knowing the ramifications, knowing that this match was over. Atlanta with the win last night, and the pressure really on the Jesters, not able to find an equalizer.
No, they did not end the season well, but Kenny Farrell, a great coach. The Jesters, a high-quality team. Oliver Roberts and Tom Pierce, and they've got a ton of talent. Certainly can't count them out, but they've had the injury bug. They're certainly a team that's got a great shot to do some special things again, but they're missing some bodies. Levonway just came back, had an infection there. Look for New Orleans, though, to, you would think, take care of business at home against Georgia and try and get back to that first-place type form.
Well, we saw last year, when you see a team a third time, it could be the charm. Atlanta able to oust Asheville in the playoffs here last year. New Orleans being swept by the Silverbacks, obviously going to look for that third opportunity in the semifinals, so Atlanta certainly can't take them lightly.
It could be the exact opposite of a year ago, as Atlanta wound up getting swept a third time in a playoff matchup on the road. This year, home field, and it could be Atlanta doing the sweeping in the end. Here's Deba. Little hand contact. Ricketts, though, going forward. That's not a bad ball, but intercepted in the end. Here's Walker, a little outside of the foot to Keka. Just didn't get enough of the outside.
Yeah, Atlanta, I think maybe pressing a little bit here when they get the possession. Chattanooga dominating, holding on to the ball at least. Not a ton of chances either way. Aaron Walker with the possession in the middle. Obviously, you talked to him last night. A great match for him last night as he started to come on, wearing that captain's armband again with Sharif Suma out. But a little antsy here for Atlanta early on.
And again, our best wishes to Sharif. May he recover well, get back to 100%. Very sad when we heard the news. Sharif suffering that stroke, but we've heard good signs, good things ahead. So much love to Sharif and the family and the kids, and I'm sure we'll see him out here very soon. He's a warrior, no doubt. Former Sierra Leone captain, national team player there, our captain here, and our hearts go out to Sharif and the family. So get better, big fella. Here's Keka, looking to go left, has that speed, fakes the cross, now does cross for Joa. Ball goes up, Croucher. No issues there for the keeper. He looks to lead a break, but there's Mo. Mo Isahaku with a big goal this year. And I believe that was the international match, down a man, gave us the 2-1 lead. Eventually it was equalized at 2-2, but Mo certainly a guy that could be a captain and a leader on the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Mo not usually scoring goals. A big one there at home against Nashville, like you mentioned, down to 10 men. Obviously Christian Gomez for Nashville coming up with the equalizer, but
and a brilliant free kick.
It was a great play there. Joa with
Joa from distance. Oh baby, where did that come from? Joa Johanning in minute 24. And he's got a 2-year-old son who loves it back home. I should say 2-day-old son.
Absolutely. What a shot. Joao Johanning well outside the box. We've seen him do it before in these big moments. Obviously, not a lot on the line in the standings tonight, but in the mentalities, knowing you can play with a team like this, a big goal there for Joao.
And you see the smoke from the Ultras. Where did that come from? Atlanta, nothing doing at all in the offensive third. And Joa Johanning, who has not played a ton of late, just said, you know what, I'm taking this into my own hands. I'm pulling a Lancena. And bang, from 35.
Certainly against the run of play, Chattanooga been dominating the possession. But all it takes is one open chance for guys like Joa and Keka Kamara.
That's a world-class strike. You can't even fold Croucher for that one. Croucher, there in the 24th minute, everything seemingly harmless. Joa with a little step, and bang. As the smoke comes our way, Johanning with a chip to his forward mate in Keka. Little switch potential, Keba Demba. Confidence from the boys in red. Here comes Demba on the left foot in the box. Takes a shot. And a corner call.
Yeah, ever so slight deflection there. All it took was that one shot by Joao, and now suddenly Atlanta seems to be running downhill. We saw last night they trailed 2-0 just 7 minutes in. After that, really turning the tide the rest of the first half here. The first goal for Joao 24 minutes in, and now everybody's got a little bit of a pep in their step if they're wearing red.
Hey, ESPN, how about top 10 on that bad boy? If that doesn't make your top 10 and you have another baseball pop-up catch, I'm going to be upset. There's Mo in front.
You got to think Chattanooga's been dominating the possession. If Atlanta's got another one in them here, certainly want to take advantage, striking while the iron is hot.
Aaron lifts it in. Keka with the header. Oh, if that would have gotten by, Mo is on that backside all alone. So Joao Johanning in minute number 24 has not scored as many this year as he has the previous 2 years. I think Keka has been the causes. Keka has been taking a lot of goals from him. But wow, that may have been the best goal I've seen since the Silverbacks have gone NPSL. Here comes some trouble going forward. Oliveira, though, closes that gap. And Bryce comes out. Paul Manels, you saw number 5 there in the middle, as he chases down Aaron.
Well, you mentioned Joao not in the net as much as he was in previous years. I think that's a testament, probably, we talked about it last night, to Coach Navis' system here, where we'll have a few players going forward, but a lot of guys coming back and really helping each other in that midfield role. We've seen Joao playing further back, maybe than we've normally seen him in the past.
Being more of a facilitator, coming to the ball and then delivering.
Well, he delivered that 1-0 lead. Quite a strike there from Joao.
He was UPS, he was FedEx, he was everybody on that one. Intercepted by Leal. Pedro gets it over to Keba. Here's Aaron Walker, who's been so great in that middle. Overlap coming by Sissoko.
We've talked about Marcano and Manu Moreno there at that left and right back position, but Pedro Leal, his first start back on that back line, and he's really made an impact so far.
There's Mo venturing forward. Ibrahima Sissoko lofts one up to Keka. You know you'll have a bunch of bodies on Keka. Everybody knows about the Liberian. Nothing at all doing there as the Chattanooga wanted a foul, but Aaron Walker just bodied up completely clean. Atlanta with a 1-0 lead here, a little bit past the midway mark of the opening half. Appreciate you joining us. With Jordan Coker, I'm Justin Hanover at Silverbacks Park, presented by 8+ Sports and Emory Medical Center. Little frustrations here from the visitors. Even with a victory, again, Atlanta can only get to 26 points. Chattanooga already on 27. This is the final match in the Southeast as we see a lot of the other regions already into their playoffs. Once again, we'll start it on Tuesday in New Orleans. Certainly
looking forward to firing up a bucket of popcorn and watching instead of playing on Tuesday night.
Yep.
Awaiting either the Jesters, should they win, or the winner between Nashville and Asheville.
The interesting thing is, before every season, they get together in the meeting to determine what the playoff format will be. And they could choose however they want. Some systems are different. Some in the past down south, they just played a table. This year they have 3 with the Miamis and Jacksonville. Lansana from distance. We've seen that a time or two recently. Now, if this year they would have done top 2 advance to a final, this could have been the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it may have been more efficient that way. Obviously, we see down in the Sunshine Conference just 3 teams advancing, 2 from Miami and obviously the Armada and Jacksonville. But I think it's going to be exciting to have 6 teams here. We know how competitive this conference is, and I think having 6 of the 8 teams in really reflects that.
And it keeps everybody alive. It really does. It keeps the teams with a hope. The Greenville, who would have been done by mid-season, let's be honest. Greenville and Emerald, the Force, would have been done by week 5. the fans would have had nothing really to cheer about, but it kept them going, and we saw how Greenville really came on as they took 4 points from us.
Absolutely. Obviously, last minute, Greenville with a chance to get in and knock Nashville out. No, excuse me, Nashville. A lot of different scenarios.
On that strong left, tries to flick it at Keika, nothing doing. It's almost like adding the wild card in baseball. It keeps many more fan bases engaged in the rest of the season. Injai forced out. Leal backing as they pull it back out. Visconti.
You really need to credit Atlanta here, even without their starting cornerbacks. Obviously a rotating door at the central defense there. Still been able to hold strong so far against this potent Chattanooga team. Obviously, one of their strengths being defense. They've let in the least amount of goals, 14, maybe 15 on the entire season.
Well, now it's 15, maybe 16 as Keika gets taken down hard. Boquette, I believe, who's a big man.
We'll give Keika a little bit of a help to his feet there, even if just a symbol of help, but obviously a hard tackle on that far side there.
Pierre Akikog for Midwestern State University. The midfielder really doing a great job controlling that middle third. Here's Mo. So the Silverbacks with a 1-0 advantage. Joa Johanning with an absolute golazo as we reach right around minute 32 right now at the park. Aaron Walker coming back to it. And there's Mo. A lot of energy for Mississauga. Has not played a lot of late, and you really see his legs look a lot fresher back there.
Yeah, we know, obviously, through the middle stretch of the season, Moa Sahaku, a goal, a lot of great play in the central defense.
Oh, and Keiko with a clever little shot. Tough angle. Didn't expect that.
You talk about the energy with Mo, but you talk about the energy with this entire Silverbacks team right now. They're really feeling it. Obviously, 3 wins in a row. Before that, 2 losses here to Greenville, one that they weren't thrilled with, and then obviously holding a lead in Chattanooga before the floodgates opened there on a 4-1 loss. Haven't lost since that day at Fort Finley on June 20th. They're really feeling it here with an early lead.
And earlier in the season, fell twice against Asheville City. So Atlanta real up and down until this final third of the season. And that's when you want to peak. We spoke to a couple of matches ago, the trainer Murphy from A+ Sports, and he trains them to peak right around this time. And we're seeing it. Coach Nevis has done a great job keeping everything together. And this team, that's what you want to do. You want to be at your best right when you begin the most important part of the season here in the playoffs. Some good minutes for some other guys as Leal again tries to go long. Chattanooga's doing a nice job of closing down any sort of possession game when it gets to Pedro Leal on this side. And Pedro forced to go long. It's really been his only option.
Still a great option by him. Not going to force it. Yeah.
Right, but if you're forced to send it to Keika, there are a lot worse scenarios.
Absolutely. We've seen Keika make a lot out of a little here this season.
Aaron Walker chests it down well. Turns, looks up. Lansana was making a solid run. Abraham pushing up with Ricardo playing more of the 6. Lansana becoming almost more of a 10 out here as an attacking midfielder.
Not something you'd expect to hear even earlier this season, but as we've noted plenty of times, fantastic play both defensively and in the attack for Lansana.
They look long to Sissoko overlapping. It's the Liberian connection up there with Keika and Lansana. Here is Keika. Mohamed Kamara looking to get through, and Boquette dispossessed him well.
Again, 4 white jerseys around Keika Kamara. You know any team's plan is going to be to try to cut him off as well as you can. All Atlanta can do outside of that is be sure they pass to the open man. Everyone making plays around Keika.
Leal with a little hiccup there on the giveaway, but there's Lansana to gobble that back up. He plays it to Mohamed Kamara. And again, Keika dispossessed. Sissoko with a little knock there on his left foot. Oh, and a great tackle. That's Lansana again, recovering.
Well done. We're seeing the same defensive pressure we saw from Atlanta Wednesday night on the 4th of July playing the New Orleans Jesters. No score late into that match, but we saw them, even with the Jesters with possession, pressuring every pass, every possession. We're seeing them do that now with Chattanooga obviously holding the majority of the possession.
Neither team really able to get inside and penetrate the back lines. Joa's goal, the golazo from a good 35, but besides that, nobody really getting in that box and doing much of danger. And speaking of danger, Bryce Billington up to the task.
Bryce maybe a little rusty, hasn't played a lot. Obviously not a lot of challenges in the box as you've mentioned tonight, but great snag by Bryce.
You don't really ever have to worry about Bryce not playing. When he was on the NASL version, he never played a minute with Stuart Sues and CJ Cochran. The next year, he came in. Amith Kante was injured. He was brilliant after basically not playing for a year. Last year, he played with the Revolution on and off, played very well with them. Bryce is a professional goalkeeper. He knows when he gets that call exactly what he needs to do, and he's up to the task many more times than not.
Atlanta definitely in a good position there. Bryce, as you mentioned, a lot of experience, definitely what you want to see. Theo Blachon, great this year out of what we've seen, all the matches the Frenchman has played.
And Theo played collegiately with Keka, as Keka, the two-time player of the year in college in Texas. Little 1-2 potential, and look at Ibra Injad with those long legs like a spider, just gobbling that up.
Well done to break that up by Taki.
Lansana getting around. Here's Abraham Lansana.
Great move by Lansana, but a great dispossess there for Chattanooga.
Really well done around Jonathan Ricketts. Oliveri using his body well to Joao playing deep. And the goal scorer will continue his possession as we get deeper into that first half. Minute number 38 here at the park. 1-0 Silverbacks on top. Been a very professional effort so far by Atlanta. Not trying to do too much, but giving up little.
I think that's the biggest point, sorry Justin, here so far, just that Atlanta, they're making the right passes, and if it's not there, they're not going to press. They don't want to give Chattanooga the opportunities they gave Emerald Force last night.
No, the first 7 minutes?
Absolutely. 3 goals they gave up to Emerald Force. Really, all 3 of them on defensive blunders. It's good to see 24 hours later, they're not giving that up.
Very positive feel to this team right now, a positive energy. A cool confidence to the boys in red. Here is Pedro. We've seen that a couple of times now from Leal. Started off well, a couple of blunders here. Lansana frustrated a bit. Again, both teams not starting their full normal 11, starting some starters mixed with some more reserve type players. Atlanta looking very fresh in the back, as all 4 guys in the back haven't played many minutes of late. You can see them stepping up on challenges and winning those challenges. So we'll see what each coach has in terms of substitutions. We expect a bevy of them. Here's Viscomi. And again, Atlanta stepping into that passing lane and doing enough. Sissoko this time. Little breakup coming. Let's see if Keke can turn.
Well done, Ibrahima Sissoko. We've seen him play in the midfield a lot at that left back position. Certainly a break on for Chattanooga there that he's able to break up.
They continue to do that. Get in those lanes. And again, it's the freshness of the guys in the back, of Mo and of Ibra and Sissoko. They just look fresh. They look sharp back there.
That's certainly the strength tonight. Obviously, roster's a little tweaked, everything clinched. Both teams trying to hold things close to their vest. A brand new back 4. And really, that's been where Atlanta's had their strength. Obviously, Joao, great strike for the goal, but Atlanta really able to clear out any passes, any attack from Chattanooga.
Jared McWhorter with a little extra there on Lansana. Little nudge. Here's Keka with a good first touch, heavier second touch. Still in possession. The goal scorer, Joao, with a clever touch to Keka.
Nicely done just to keep the possession here. Atlanta not having a ton. They've got Pedro Leal on this near side if they want it.
Good little switch to Pedro. And they say easy. Aaron Walker said easy. Lansana does enough on it.
Brilliant touch by Lansana.
And we mentioned Keka's hat trick last night. If you didn't watch the match, Keka probably could have had 6 goals. Had a couple of 1v1s he was a little bit too cute with. In the end, Keka had 3. If you ask him deep down, he probably should have had 6.
Well, you know a goal scorer is always going to think he should have had more. I'm sure Keka thought he should have had 6 or 7 last night.
Atlanta put 5 in total, probably should have had 9. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Here's Viscomi looking to play quick. Nothing doing, so he'll leave it.
Certainly when this team's faltered, it has been the lack of goal scoring. The defense pretty consistent most of the year outside, obviously, that 4-1 loss in Chattanooga. So not being able to produce on the offensive end has been the issue when they get defeated, but it's really been a strength recently, especially last night.
Turnover here, a rare one. Rice coming out, and nobody in the fellas in white able to corral that in. It was in a little bit of a no man's land.
It's really been an interesting shift, I think, in the mentality. We know that there's not everything on the line tonight. Atlanta's really put their best foot forward, not making any mistakes on this back line. They've really
played loose, but effective loose.
They've been very comfortable in their game plan. And I think Chattanooga went from dominating the possession. Now they're really, maybe you start to see the top team in the league press just a little, even if there's not a ton on the line tonight.
And again, Chattanooga's at that midway point where if they can get north of 2 points per game, and they're right around there, that could be the difference between a home match in the playoffs, making a lot of money, having an advantage of being at Fort Finley, versus having to travel maybe a 10-hour bus ride somewhere.
Absolutely. Certainly sitting at 2.08. So they're right on that cusp.
Yeah, that's that cusp with other teams. You see a lot of teams in the playoffs. You'll see a few Cosmos and Laredo that are at a gaudy 3. But for the most part, these teams are at right around 2.1, a number the Silverbacks just can't get to pretty much. But Chattanooga, if they can get a victory tonight, they're in that potential of hosting an extra round, whereas if they lose tonight, they probably would not be. So it's really a bigger match here for the visitors in the end, as Keba Demba with some clever footwork. The captain and Walker. Ricardo pushed out to this right side. Latter stages here, of the first half, and a little bit of bad luck, but Mo cleans it up in the end.
We talked about Atlanta making all the right passes. Pedro Leal tried to make the right pass, just a deflection off of the back of Abrima Njai. Still able to cover it up.
Joa goes all the way back to Bryce as we're right around minute number 45. Seconds away from approaching 45. I don't really expect much added at all. Silverbacks with a 1-0 lead on maybe the NPSL goal of the year, to be honest. Joa Johanning from 35 yards out, upper corner. Brilliant as they come. I don't know what's a better goal this year in the NPSL.
We may be biased, but that certainly was a fantastic effort by Joao. 30 yards out?
35 yards out at least. You have a better goal, tweet me at Justin Hanover 1 because I want to see it. Any league, MLS, USL, I don't care. That's as good as it comes. That's Junior Burgos-esque. But Joa did it in the run of play where Burgos, a lot of them were on kicks.
Atlanta, they look content here. Obviously, fantastic effort in the first 45. They look content to just run out the clock here, get to the locker room. I think Coach Navis his message is going to be continue to do what you've done. Obviously, we'll probably see some subs here.
Croucher launching one past midfield. And that should do it. So the first 45 in the books, both teams played fairly well. We'll see what kind of adjustments come in the second half. But Jordan Coker, the difference, a goal of the year by Joao Joanna.
Absolutely. A fantastic effort by Joao. I don't think that can be overstated, but I think as we've mentioned throughout the first 45, some of the new faces on the back line, completely new four from last night, still making the right passes, not being too aggressive, not making the mistakes that led to forced goals last night. Really kind of taking control of this match when Chattanooga kind of dominated possession early.
A quality first 45 for the Silverbacks, 45 more to go. Changes, I would assume, are coming as these teams fine-tune themselves for Thursday night. 1-0 Silverbacks at the break.
There is music allowed in the game. What's the worst that could happen? Nobody hears it.
You're here, he's here. And the levels are going like this. So I'm in the middle making it so the levels go like this.
Yeah, no, like that's not your thing.
What's new business?
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
Go back.
start out. This is the way. All right.
Moments away from second half action. Appreciate you joining us here from Silverbacks Park. Jordan Coker, Justin Hanover. Atlanta with the 1-0 advantage through the first 45. Joa Johanning in minute number 24 with a cracker from 35 yards out. Beat Croucher in goal. Not his fault. Joa with an absolute goal of the year on any level. As we look for changes moving forward, I believe we have Brian Pretel Plata, Terry Jules coming in for Atlanta. They're in a huddle right now. We'll check out some other subs. With the Silverbacks with a very professional opening 45.
Yeah, fantastic start there. And as we mentioned, we expect some subs. We saw Big Terry Jules coming in. Big T, as you refer to him. And another change there. Is it Plata or is it...
That's Brian, yep.
It is Brian Pretel Plata.
You're thinking maybe Alexander.
Maybe Alexander Silva?
Similar build, but that is Brian, who's started off the season in the back. Manu Moreno did a great job, sort of Wally pipped him a bit, but Brian, very interchangeable, a hard runner, a fast runner, up front can wreak a little bit of havoc. So those are the two changes. We'll see Ibrahima Sissoko now on this near side, Pedro Leal on the far side. And Chattanooga down a goal with the opening possession here in the second half.
Looks like Coach Neva's taking out Keika Kamara and Joa Johanning Moore, really the big threats up front, understanding the situation right now for Atlanta.
No issues at all with that. Let them play 45, get their legs under them, have some confidence. Certainly they both do now. And Atlanta can get some more bodies in.
We mentioned the threat of potential yellow cards, maybe even red cards. Both of those players known to get a little feisty at times, so definitely good to get them some playing time, but get them on the bench.
Here's Damian Gaiona. See him now on this near side. Gabriel Gonzalez-Bayo. I'll tell you, Terry Jules is taller than he was last year. I stood next to him for one of those post-match interviews. We'll do it again. We'll go down pitch level after this match. Terry was taller than 6'7". Oh, that's some good footwork, but Mo pokes it ahead. Aaron Walker back to Isasaku. Uses that big frame to shield. And it's almost David against Goliath right there with Isasaku. And it was a good possession until that one goes out of bounds.
Not a great moment there. We talked about last night, Atlanta, lapse of concentration that led to goals for Emerald Force. They've been very strong in that category this year, or tonight, excuse me, but we'll see if they can continue that.
Terry Jules again coming back to the ball. Plays forward, but we saw Terry yesterday in a deeper role, a la Joa. Had that 1v1 with the keeper, tried to chip him, and I sort of ribbed him about it a little bit today. I said, Terry, the keeper just got hurt. Why are you trying to trip him? Just use your speed. And he said, well, it was almost great. Flag goes up. There's a foul on Brian. Chattanooga doing their thing, yelling for a red card.
I'm sure they'd love to see it, but I believe maybe just a slight bit of embellishment there from Chattanooga. Obviously a hard challenge by Brian Pretel Plata, though.
Chris Heintzman, the center official, all over that.
Both teams looking to avoid any injury, any card, anything tonight. All their positions wrapped up in the conference.
1-0 Silverbacks on top, presented by A+ Sports and Emory Medical Center, my alma mater. Fun school to be at, right there by Decatur and Atlanta. Emory University, the Eagles. Quality soccer program as well. Went to the Elite Eight this year. There's Aaron Walker weaving his way around 3 opponents. Sissoko plays to Lansana. And Abraham again from behind. Jared McWhorter, that's the second time he's done that to Lansana. Give him a little bit more, giving him the business.
Yeah, certainly you don't hear the Chattanooga asking about that one.
No red card asking for that, right?
A tough challenge there, Lansana. A little ginger, but no worse for the wear.
Walker dispossessed. That was a good tackle by Monells. We mentioned in the first half the recurring theme was a lack of penetration as both defenses just standing tall. And right there, a harmless shot as Bryce will just dribble it around for a little bit. Here's Terry looking to get on this one. Bumped a bit. And Chattanooga back in possession. Oh, Sissoko sucked in, and he's caught a bit. Here comes a rare fast break for Chattanooga. Not enough quality at all, and Leal all over that one. Atlanta now looking to maybe run. Walker to Pretel Plata with an overlap coming from the speedy Sissoko.
Probably a smart play there for Atlanta. Not able to hold on to possession as much as Chattanooga during this match. You've got the lead. You know where you're at. I don't think there's going to be a lot of hurry in either team. If any team, it's going to be Chattanooga, knowing the implications, maybe for some future matches.
And there's Keba, not Sissoko, as Ibrahim on this side. Terry with a good first touch.
Nicely possessed by Terry Jules.
Atlanta still in possession. Oliveira plays it all the way back. Leal. And the Silverbacks reset. Sarge. Aaron saying, go forward, Mo, I've got you. Not on the same page with Sissoko, however. Good communication for the captain.
Certainly not what we saw in those first 7-10 minutes last night against Emerald Force. Lack of communication leading to some errors and some goals, but we're hearing it now. Aaron Walker wearing the captain's armband, proving why he's earned it.
And everybody said to a man, we were just sleeping in the beginning. Abdul said it. I think Keka said it. They used the same terminology. We were sleeping. Inexcusable against a superior team. Got away with it that time last night. Let's just not see it happen again. Lansana with a good tackle. Little break on. Here comes Terry. And Jules gets taken down, dispossessed, nothing doing.
The referee letting them play. Kind of both teams seeing a foul there on each side, but I think a fair call both ways if he's going to let them play.
Presto Plata on it. Aaron Walker now on this left side. Let's see if Brian can overlap. Big switch coming. Lansana out of his central position all the way now on the right. Here's Keba. Kemba has some support. Layout plays to feet. Lansana gets hacked a bit. What's the call? Corner kick Atlanta. Good work on that right side. In minute number 8 here in the second half. 53 in all. Silverbacks with that 1-0 lead on the Joa Johanning Golazo. This ball played in. Like to see Terry get a little closer. Walker puts it down. Flag goes up, so that'll be an offside on Terry coming back to the play. It was interesting a couple of years ago, or actually last year for a little bit, when we had Terry, who was 6'7", Anthony Takpa, who was also about 6'7", and you just start loading balls into the box. We didn't see it all that often, but the potential of that was intimidating for sure on a back line.
It was certainly unique to Atlanta in those years.
A lot of white jerseys coming forward, and Taki with a good job. David Koloko in there on that side. So Koloko, I believe, came in for Keba Demba. And here is David, another interchangeable piece, so talented.
Yeah, we saw Koloko.
Oh, and Terry trying to
Terry.
get up.
Can't get on it. We saw Koloko with some great work in the preseason. He made a start in that match shorthanded in Nashville where Atlanta got the lead. Nice ball in. Well, it's going to be a bit too far.
Koloko, a Cameroonian in college at Gardner-Webb. He's a holding midfielder with a lot of speed. Atlanta certainly not a lack of holding midfielders on this team.
They may not have the quantity, but certainly the quality. Obviously in the starting lineup, Ricardo Oliveira.
I'm saying they do have the quantity.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
With Koloko and Oliveira and Lansana, and Aaron certainly can hold.
Well, I think it's just a testament again to this system. Roberto Neves able to have a lot of pieces, a lot of interchangeable parts, being able to play in different positions.
Yeah, do a lot of everything. Here's Brian, who started off as a defender.
Nicely done.
And here comes Preto Plata, a little 1v1, wants to get on that left foot, and he gets himself in the box, puts it across. Brian Preto Plata causing a little bit of trouble for that back line as they retreat.
Well done for Brian just to get that shot on goal. 1v about 4. Manages to hold on to the possession, get the shot, and another turnover here.
Lansana. It'll certainly be interesting to see on Thursday who's in that lineup. Who is a starting 11 player when you've got about 22 guys legitimately that want to fit that bill.
That is a good problem for the team to have. Good problem for Coach Neves to have, even if it's going to be a hard decision to make.
And here's Koloko, good body control as he goes down that right side. David Koloko wreaking some havoc. Still trying to get on it.
What an individual effort by David Koloko. We see the speed beating the defenders down that far side, even off the header, able to get in there.
Was that Thierry, actually?
Was it Thierry?
That was Jules. I apologize. That was Thierry. When he gets that far, he loses that height on me.
Absolutely. Streaking past.
Yeah.
There goes Big T.
Good ball played in. Preto Plata looking for a little volley. It feels kind of dark in here. Not to make excuses, it's got a little bit of a dark feel as I think truly some of the lights are out. If you look at each of the stanchions with the lights, they're missing a couple.
Certainly this match coming down from the upper field to the stadium probably about an hour, maybe an hour 15 before kickoff. So not sure if everything is on or not, or if it's just, a technical issue there.
And Mo's caught a little bit. Terry's got to do something here and not let Pierre get by him. And he wins the throw as well.
Nicely done. You mentioned Thierry Jules playing back. Obviously, big, tall Thierry playing forward a lot, but he plays out to this middle third, helping out Mo Isahaku, getting back on defensive coverage. Atlanta still playing aggressive.
And Sissoko did about all he could right there, win a throw, as the pressure really came on him with Jose Francisco Ferraz. Injai with a switch potential, and he goes that way. Leal. Good controlled possession. Lansana again moving to that right side. Abraham Lansana. And a goal kick in the end. Good job defensively using the body against Abraham. Still, the trend continues. Nobody really able to penetrate in that box and do anything all that dangerous. Who can solve the back line? Joa did it on his goal in this 1-0 Silverback advantage, but that was from distance.
Well, as we mentioned, Chattanooga, one of the top, well, statistically, the top defensive team in the league on the year. A great score by Joa in the 24th minute. Atlanta obviously improved on their defensive effort last few matches, despite the blunders last night.
Thanks for tuning in here on Silverback Soccer Live with Jordan Coker. I'm Justin Hanover. Kylie Coker on the camera. Hunter's doing something around here. Hunter Odom helping out as well.
We're still trying to get info and reports on exactly what he's doing, but we'll let you know once we find out.
Sponsored as always by A+ Sports. New Wave Training Facility with the Captain Mitch Garcia, who's out this season, leading the way there. Check it out in Alpharetta, A+ Sports. And also sponsored by the Emory Medical Center. The medical team, the physios here with Atlanta. Preston and company doing a great job keeping these fellas in shape. Atlanta with another substitution upcoming. We've seen 3 already with Coloco, Preto Plata, and Jules. They haven't allotted 7. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Walker gets taken out. He's played a lot of minutes, a lot of hard work of late. And Mo continuing to be Mo. Physical presence. Terry Jules with some body control.
Nicely
Lansana gets a first step forward. Lansana! Oh, and it's deflected for a corner. The confidence brimming with big number 8.
Abraham Lansana again from outside the box. As you mentioned yesterday, maybe that's his sweet spot. Trying to take shots inside the box, maybe too close. Another near chance and another corner kick for Atlanta.
And another substitution, Ricardo Oliveira, who we've seen this the last few matches. Ricardo's played about the first 55, 60 minutes, and he's come out. So good work as usual. Very clean is Ricardo. Does his job, does the dirty work in the middle. And I think that's Alexander Silva coming in. Very technical, talented 18-year-old Brazilian. He's going to score one of these games as Alexander. Had some chances as Coloco's going to fire. You put the ball at Alexander's feet, and nobody's better technically.
This is exactly what we expected. Some of the big names for Atlanta coming out. Joao, Keika, Keba Demba all making their way out. Now Ricardo Oliveira, big part to this holding midfield. Obviously the great defense Atlanta's played tonight, but not wanting to risk a lot given Thursday night's semifinal.
I still think at some point you've got to get Aaron out of there. Lansana probably too, as that ball's played in and whacked out by Mo. Lansana, though, has a history of being able to play just ridiculous minutes, as he is a tank. Here comes Aaron. Gonna tee it up from distance. Ooh,
what a
save
shot.
at the end, though.
Aaron Walker with a fantastic look on goal. But an even better save by Croucher there.
Atlanta's bench right now getting a little bit thin. The 33-year-old and Abdul Bangura, as Chattanooga's going to make a couple of substitutions. I don't think you want to get Abdul in there. He's played the last 2 matches. And you've pretty much used up everybody. Manu and Ryan are still on the bench. I don't think you want to use those guys. They've played a lot of minutes. So this may be what we're going to see the rest of the way here with Atlanta, as Chattanooga does go to their bench for a couple.
As you mentioned, really the only one left there would be Aaron Walker, the guy we really may want to see taken off, but Atlanta may stick with what they've got here. Certainly defensively has been quelling this Chattanooga attack.
So 2 fresh bodies come in here on this near side. We'll see Santi Moore. Santi Moore, a quality player. Plays in Dalton State.
Great run by Silva.
Yes, had a penalty goal against the Revs in that last match.
Well, Silva, a great attempt. Trying to flick it past the defender with his heels, but can't make it happen.
Sissoko able to intercept. Here's Aaron. Preto Plata a little bit too much. Sissoko looking to rotate over on this side, and Ibrahima looking to defend in the cutback, and he does enough.
What a job. Ibrahima Sissoko caught a little, but still able to get back and make the play. His center backs there, Taki, Mo Isahaku. Fantastic recovery.
It's one of those, though, you can't lose it there. Brian Preto Plata at midfield. The transition. And Santa again tucked on that right side.
Atlanta maybe getting away from what they did in the first half, making all the correct passes, not really putting any pressure on themselves, making any mistakes like they did last night. Bit of a miscue there for Plata, but the defense able to recover.
Chattanooga's bench, by the way, today, their keeper and Philip D'Amico has played some quality minutes of late. Caleb Cole, a midfielder. Santi Moore we saw come in. Felipe Oliveira up front. Steven Roca, Juan Sanchez. Cam Whitfin as well. A lot of depth on this roster for sure. The difference so far is Joao Johanning in the 24th minute with a blistering golazo from 35 yards out. In minute number 66, is 20 minutes in the books here already in the second half. The defense is ruling the roost. If this was a football battle, as in NFL, American football, we'd be saying it's the ball basically on the outside of the 20s, being played around midfield. No real penetration.
That's true. Not either team not really able to make any headway inside the 18-yard box.
Sissoko hustling back on this near side as Ibra calls him. Some room here in the middle. Big cross, curled in, trouble. Headed out, Leal does enough, and a goal kick. Pedro Leal putting his head in the way.
Again, a nice effort by Leal. Not a lot of minutes, but we've certainly talked about him a time or two tonight with a great effort there at that right back position.
Very talented Charles Clark up front. You see number 15 in the middle. He has done a lot this season, but Atlanta really doing a good job. Charles, a high-quality player out of Bryan College, leading the team with half a dozen goals. And I don't even know if we've mentioned his name so far. Credit to Mo and Ibra and the rest of that back line. Thierry on the ball again, using that big frame to shield. A little bit too slow from Coloco. Here's the run from Charles. You almost get the feeling that Chattanooga right now is going to start to open some things up. Throw caution to the wind, go to goal, do some different tactics. Mo running out. And Ibra gets away with maybe a little push. Off the back of Injai. His leg's going to stay down, left-footed cross. Here's trouble. And just off the post and wide.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Justin. Chattanooga really starting to throw things forward. Atlanta going to make another sub here. But the visitors know that they want to get those final 3 points, get to 30 on the year, stay above 2 points per game. They're going to need to find the back of the net at least once, if not twice.
Santi Moore with that opportunity probably should have done better, to be honest with you. Point blank from about 16 yards out, not able to get it on frame. And it looks like, I think that's Ryan. Ryan Marcano will come in for Aaron Walker. Very interesting. Armband going to Mo Isasaku. Gets a hug from Aaron. You see on the middle of your screen there. Mo takes that orange armband. Aaron will walk off. Ryan comes in. So let's see the formation. Marcano will go in the back. Walker will come out. Pedro Leal appears to be playing higher up in the midfield. So that's what it'll be. Ryan Marcano in the back on the right side. Leal moves up. Intercept there. Pierre in midfield. Good work from Boquet to win this possession. Preto Plata, not a bad foul. He was beaten a little bit by Bayo.
Very simple word here from the head referee.
Good job by Chris Heinzman. He understands the temper to the match. Not that bad at all. Doesn't need to take out anything. Cam Woodfin, the other substitute who came in before on the ball. Plays to feet. Good work. Little cheeky heel there by Brian. Alexander.
Looks like he got checked in the ankle here a little bit.
Midway mark of the second half. Still 1-0 Silverbacks. Joe Henning, the proud papa from Friday night, with a golazo from 35 yards out.
Well, you mentioned it, Justin. Chattanooga's starting to bring numbers forward. They've made some subs. Obviously, they've got a lot of quality even on that bench. Atlanta's subbed out some of their top talent here, at least in the attack. So we'll see how these subs and the reserves can handle this pressure.
Nothing to lose here if you're Chattanooga. Why not? Throw caution in the wind, get a point, get 3 points if you can. Play it in, not enough quality. And Coloco just sends it out to midfield. Possession right now all to the visitors. Bouquet goes to his left. The only remaining player on Atlanta's bench appears to be Abdul Bangura. Do not expect him to come in. Abdul even said today he was a little bit sore at age 33, playing Wednesday, playing last night. I was surprised he was even on the roster instead of a younger Austin Rainey.
It is surprising. We've seen Austin Rainey some great play this year. He has taken some hits, so maybe he's trying to nurse something back to health before Thursday night. But as you said, I don't think we'll see Abdul Bangura barring any sort of emergency tonight as Atlanta gives it away.
Bad giveaway. Koloko trying to run back. Blocked again by Mo and cleared away by Ibra. Here comes Brian with some pressure on him. Plays it back coolly.
Some of those defensive mistakes starting to show their head for Atlanta, although Chattanooga with a bit of a giveaway there. Atlanta still able to hold serve.
Lansana venturing forward, cuts it back. Tripped a little bit, but does enough to be a little bit of a pest. We saw last year Abraham Lansana, the Silverbacks played a back-to-back and 3 matches in 4 days. Capped off at the Revolution in the beginning of last season. And Abraham Lansana played every minute. They play it quick, and they play it effectively quick. Ryan's got to be careful there. Don't need anything extra. Oh! Speaking about extra, little frustrations there from Chattanooga. And a dangerous set piece upcoming. Ryan Marcano with that foul about 23 yards out.
It is. You sense the visitors getting a little frustrated. Atlanta obviously known to get a little hot under the collar as well, but playing with the lead right now. You talk about stakes in this match. Maybe nothing in the table, in the seating, but showing Chattanooga that you're not going to just let them push you around, especially here on your home pitch.
Minute number 74 right now. About 16 or so and a little bit of added time. Atlanta needs to hold the rope. Dangerous situation. 5 in the wall, I believe. Bryce still on that far post. Not many more bodies, though, forward for Chattanooga. They're going to have to bring some guys forward. Only 1 on the wall and nobody else.
This one definitely going right on target, I believe.
Billington barking out orders. Lansana very visible on that wall as he breaks off. Here's the free kick. Oh, and a big save and gobbled up by Bryce.
It may or may not have been directly on target, but Bryce not going to take the chance there.
And the most important part was that he was able to corral it in and not leave a rebound for an on-rushing Chattanooga player.
Absolutely.
It's one of those where if it's off target and you put it inside and you leave it in the box, you're causing some trouble. Speaking about trouble, giveaway from Koloko. Good job, though, by David to recover. They establish themselves in the box. Mo with a little push.
Really an exceptional job from the midfield to the back line, Atlanta. They've given the ball away a little more than they did in the first half, but fantastic recoveries, fantastic getting in the way of every pass.
Here comes Ryan with that speed.
What closing speed. Ryan Marcano makes up that gap to maintain the possession.
Not a bad job defensively to hang with Ryan and not let him get too far ahead. Good poke from Marcano. Here's Alexander. Koloko now. Atlanta looks to tilt this pendulum with a little bit of an attack. Lansana directing traffic. Leal placed Alexander's feet. Abraham will fire from there.
That's just about his sweet spot.
It is. Injai caught out of position a bit. Here comes a break on this side as Ryan fights to get back. The shot, and we're level at 1 apiece. It broke down a bit as Atlanta had numbers forward. And Chattanooga able to level things.
Well, we had noted Atlanta, all the defensive mistakes yesterday that led to goals. The first 45 and then some, they really locked it down, but some of the reserves coming in, a few more lapses, a giveaway there led to a fast break. Atlanta can't get back. Chattanooga finding the equalizer here.
Give credit, good shot to the far corner. Marcano breathing down his neck. Level at 1 here, 77th minute. Chattanooga's going to put some more pressure on now.
Some more changes for the visitors. As we mentioned, if there is anything on the line here, it is for Chattanooga to keep that points per game up well above 2 and immediately a giveaway.
The good thing is, no matter how this ends up, if you play each other in a week from now on Saturday, Atlanta feels good with their starting 11. Atlanta really did a great job shutting down Chattanooga and doing what they wanted defensively as Thierry just dribbles it out of bounds. We'll go down pitch level, get some reacts after this match as usual. Hopefully we'll get Joa. Want to see if that's what he would consider his greatest goal ever. He certainly has a bunch. The one in the playoffs against Asheville City, the 18-yard volley a year ago was brilliant. Goquette now on this near side. Ibrahima plays into Pedro. Leal, some clever footwork over here to Brian on this near side. Some room for Preto Plata. He needs some runners. He's got Big Terry in the middle if he wants to just shoot one up. Maybe just give that a try. Here's Sissoko. Shadow Hooligans picking up their noise. David will go all the way back to Bryce. 1-1 here at the park. Jordan Coker, Justin Hanover, presented by A+ Sports and the Emory Medical Team. There's Thierry, who wins that header to Leal.
We'll see if Atlanta's got any threatening attack left. Obviously, some of their big attackers subbed out. Chattanooga really putting the pressure on. Now that we're level, you got to think Atlanta's going to try to hold on here. Chattanooga's going to be the aggressor.
Yeah, the situation has completely dictated what we're seeing, and that's okay. Keka's out, Joa's out, Nyambi's still a little banged up. Obviously, Sharif is out. So the Silverbacks without 4 of their main guns up top. Thierry's certainly capable, scored 3 goals in a 4-match span. I think Alexander's due. We've seen Lansana score a lot of late, so certainly weapons. But the situation has dictated what's going on. Marcano is a call for a handball. There goes Ryan with that speed. Ryan playing at Oglethorpe, plays as a forward there. Be nice to see him get his first goal of the season. Maybe a winner here tonight. We get in minute number 80 or so. Good ball to feet as Chattanooga continues to attack.
More chances for Chattanooga. They continue to bring the pressure off the bench. They're bringing the pressure off on the pitch right now. Definitely Atlanta on their back foot trying to hold on.
Chattanooga on 27 points. The Silverbacks on 23. Final game here in the Southeast as the regular season wraps up right here at the park in about 10 minutes or so. And in the playoffs again on Tuesday. Mo wins another header. The armband. That armband, they need a new one. It was falling off Aaron before. The orange falling off Big Mo. The budget may not be huge, but I think we can afford another armband.
We'll be sure to submit that invoice in and see what comes back.
A whole lot of nothing, maybe. Lansana just whacks it.
Atlanta almost feels like to continue the hockey comparison, like a team playing against Chattanooga on the power play, just trying to clear the puck, just trying to clear the ball back, relieve some of this pressure.
There really should not be frustrations, though, even if we don't get any points here. This match has gone to plan to this point. And a goal kick upcoming.
I think that's easy for us to say up here, but you got to think the guys on the field, some of these guys playing more minutes recently than they have most of the season. They still want to show their worth on this team. They still want to find a winner here in these final 8 to 10 minutes.
Certainly you want to win the match, but you've proved a lot, have the Silverbacks. Really a professional performance for the first 65 or so. Terry with the big hop. Did that hit his head? I think it did. Minute number 82, 1-1. Not many numbers going forward now in red. And a good slide tackle from Sarge. Corner upcoming.
Well done. We mentioned from the beginning, obviously not a lot to gain here. Things you can gain, the points per game, and really how you feel you match up with this Chattanooga team. I think through 80-plus minutes, we've seen these teams are level. These teams are even.
Yeah, very, very even match. Joa with that cracker of a goal, but Chattanooga is defending well, and really nothing wrong by them in the first 65 minutes. If they do play next Saturday, it obviously will be at Fort Finley, a place where it was a 4-1 victory for Chattanooga a couple of weeks back. Silverbacks did have a 1-0 lead as Bryce comes back. Oh no, we don't need to see this. Terry on the shelf, or I should say Theo a little bit on the shelf. Bryce with a little knock right there.
Not what you want to see, but he's going to get that kickoff. Looks to be all right.
And again, that first match was a 4-1 victory for Chattanooga. Atlanta did lead, though, 1-0 into about the 70th. And Mo wins another one. Mo has won everything tonight. Alexander dispossessed with the foul call. Much to the chagrin there.
Yeah, Chattanooga's not going to like it, but clearly a strike in the back there. Silva going down, free kick coming to Atlanta. Sissoko and Liao going quickly there. Atlanta trying to maintain some possession, something they haven't had here recently.
Approaching minute number 86. And that's headed up to Croucher. If you're Atlanta, just hold on. Grab a point here if you can. That ball's going to roll downhill. We'll go down pitch level after the match, get some reacts from the guys. I'd say the only guy really putting in yeoman's work these last 3 days right now is Abraham Lansana. Everybody else should be, relatively speaking, fresh. Ryan Marcano's played some minutes here again tonight. Ricardo's played 3 straight matches, about 60 minutes each. The back line should be very fresh.
You'd have to imagine Lansana, his current form, he'd want to play another match.
Bryant, and a chance on his right foot. Oh, and how many times did we see that last night? The ball rolling to the goal, but just not enough pace. Preto Plata, lefty. And there's Mo again with that captain's band falling.
Atlanta had to get back. Mo able to get the ball out. A bit of a tough challenge there, but Chattanooga had numbers coming into the box.
Ryan Preto Plata certainly dominant with that left foot. Cut back on the weak foot, just not enough behind it. Else Atlanta could have stolen that second goal against the run of play. 3 bodies in white on this far side. Little miscommunication defensively. Corner kick in the end, but Atlanta's got to mark a little bit better. They're going to play it short again. Nobody's looking here. Well, that's actually not a Chattanooga player. That was a coach all the way over there.
It was a coach, a sub, trying to hurry things along.
That was bizarre. He's wearing the same uniform, it looked like. Terry, the lone option up top. Alexander's going to overlap on the right side. Here comes Jules, and he gets taken down pretty hard. Not a bad foul, as Silverbacks had a good little rush going to goal.
Absolutely. Both teams with challenges here. Some dangerous corner kicks from Chattanooga. Now Atlanta going to have a chance. It'll be interesting to see who's going to take this. A lot of the big guns are going to be out. Looks like Alexandra Silva's going to get on the ball. Lansana's going to stay around at least. Maybe even Ibrahima Sissoko coming in here as well.
Currently in minute number 88. He'll have 3 or 4 minutes added, I would think. Maybe a little bit out of Alexander's range, a good 32 yards or so out.
Atlanta still leaving a few behind the ball here, not wanting to get caught on the counterattack.
So here comes the Brazilian from distance. Curled it, a little bit of pace, just not enough. Doesn't trouble Croucher all that much. And Mo again having to come over. And Mo doing a little hopsy-do.
That was not a foul.
Ooh, that ball was not out, I don't think. Called out, though. Seconds away from minute number 90 here at the park. Finishing things up in the National Premier Soccer League Southeastern season. Oh, trouble brewing here. Going forward. Atlanta lucky that they played that wide. Sissoko plays to Alexander's feet. We are in minute number 90.
Able to quell some of this attack for a bit. A few chances, a set piece. Brian Pretel Plata, a great chance, but again, Chattanooga on the prowl. These bench players for Atlanta trying to hold on here.
Referee just signaled to the fourth how many minutes he added. I wasn't able to see it. I think now he's saying 3. He just said to one of the Chattanooga players. That's fair. A lot of substitutions, but really nothing too long. That's a good ball. And Koloko looking to get onto it.
Looks like down here out of the shot, Mo Isahaku down just outside the box.
And Mo's got to get up now with this counter coming. And he does. And there is Mo.
Conveniently timed by Mo to get up there.
That should be against Chattanooga, and it is.
Absolutely.
Let's see if they can play quick. Mo stays down on that backside. I would say a cramp, but he's only played about 45.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened with Mo there. Obviously, the challenge on the far side.
I say 45. He's played the whole match.
He has.
Played the last few.
The challenge on the far side, a bit of a scuffle after Atlanta trying to go quick. Chattanooga trying to milk the challenge just a bit, I think. One player down for the visitors.
You do see a little stretch, so good. It does appear it's only a cramp and nothing more. Maybe just bring in Abdul for the last 2 minutes. The creaky 33-year-old legs, I think, can do that.
If he hasn't gone for a morning jog today, maybe he can get it in tonight. Just break a little sweat, head on to Thursday.
1-1, final moments here at the park.
Well, as we mentioned, Justin, it's been a very even matchup. Chattanooga, deservedly so, top of the league, taking the regular season title. But Atlanta has not backed down. They've certainly played well. Joao with a fantastic goal. And the defensive effort, even from a lot of subs coming in here in the second half, really able to slow down Chattanooga. But the visitors still able to find the back of the net, find the equalizer. Looking to see this out. We can't be far from the final whistle now.
And we will be seeing Abdul Bangura come in. That's hilarious. Abdul truly did not feel he was going to play, and he was not going to play.
You got to feel that's the right call. Not a lot of time left. Got to be a minute, maybe even less. No reason to risk Mo Isahaku. Certainly want everyone to be fresh and healthy coming for Thursday's semifinal.
We'll see Abdul come in. I would assume he'll get the captain's armband or Lansana. As we are now in the 3rd minute of added time. Really haven't played much of it, though, as Abdul trots in. Why not play it simple right here, though? Why are they even going deep? Look in your picture. There's nobody in white. Atlanta just looking to see this draw out for the most part. Joao Johanning with a phenomenal goal of the year type goal. As Croucher comes out. If they go quick, that was a 2v2. Atlanta's got to get jerseys back.
Chattanooga now with a player down.
And the conditions warm, but nothing crazy tonight. Relatively cool, considering all things around here in hot Atlanta.
Not quite as breezy and cool as it was last night, but still a comfortable evening. Obviously a later start, 8 p.m.
I think referee Heinzman really would like to just blow that whistle now and get out of Dodge.
I think that's what we'll see as soon as this Chattanooga player's up. The ball's put back into play. We'll probably see the final whistle.
4 minutes plus right now in added time. We've only played about 1 minute. And the Chattahooligans screaming something to the Ultras. Little battle of the bands type feel here.
It's been a good atmosphere. Shame that all the stakes were kind of taken out of it, but still been a well-played match. Both teams staying aggressive at points, also understanding the situation, keeping things under wraps, preparing for Thursday's semifinal.
So we'll see a substitution. It's Santi Moore who came in this match. Had a chance to score earlier, missed it wide. He limps off. To a Santi Moore chant. Appreciate you tuning in here on Silverbacks Soccer Live. Final moments of the entire season in the Southeastern Conference. And Sana chasing.
Referee checking his watch.
Maybe the final opportunity to steal 3 points here. It could. I don't want to belabor the point, but the difference between 3 points and 1 point tonight could mean home or away in a playoff match for Chattanooga eventually. Nothing called there, a lot of contact. Maybe one final push here for the home side. Marcano looking for some friends to throw it to. Xander plays it back. Big T looking to turn around 4 mortals.
Surprising we're getting this much time. Atlanta going to get a chance here. See if they can put something in the box.
Now bring some numbers up. Still no call. Ball lobbed in. Checks the clock again, and there it is. The Atlanta Silverbacks on one of the greatest goals you will ever see by Joa Johanning. Get a point, a 1-1 draw, finish the season with 24 points on 14 matches. Chattanooga, 28 points on 14 matches. I'm not a mathematician, but I believe that's 2 points per match, Jordan Coker.
Absolutely. They'll take it, I'm sure. I think both teams happy to get out of here with no serious injuries, no cards. Atlanta showed they can definitely play with this Chattanooga side. Chattanooga showed they can weather the storm. Will be interesting to see. Both teams hold serve on Thursday night. We'll see this matchup again next Saturday for all the marbles in the NPSL Southeast Conference.
And that would be at Fort Finley. Shall that come to fruition? We're going to go down pitch level. Jordan Coker, Kylie Coker, I'm Justin Hanover. We'll get some reacts. Make sure, though, if you did not see the Joa Johanning goal or you want to see it again, we will be on this broadcast. It will be on Twitter for sure. Check out all the social media pages for the Atlanta Silverbacks. It's as good as you'll see in a long time. So keep it right here. Momentarily, we'll get some reacts. Thanks for staying here with the Silverbacks Soccer Live. Abrima Injai, Taki, Sarge, the general back there. A good shift tonight. You guys look really good. You look fresh. Mo look fresh. Quality effort for sure in the end.
Yeah, it's just a good game that we played. We played on Saturday, and it was a tough game for us. We just came here to get a point, and we did the work. So I think well done to the boys and everyone who come to watch us play.
Talk about you right now. You've got to feel fresh. So you haven't played a ton of late. Your body physically feel like it's top-notch, ready to go now in the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm ready to play. I've been playing for a while now, so I'm thankful that getting to get back and safe, and I'm getting ready for the playoffs now.
Go get some rest. You've got 4 days, big match coming up. You don't know against who, and then potentially against these guys again next week for all the marbles. Well done, Abrima Injai. Thank you. We'll get somebody else over here. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll get Lensena. Come on over, Les. Can we get Sharif?
Sharif. Come. Hey, come, man. We got
to get him. Let's first get Abraham Lansana. We didn't speak to you about the goal yesterday. Your offensive game right now is taken off to new levels. You've become the 10. You've gone from the 6 to the 10. You're attacking. You're the leader out there in that midfield for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you very well for coming out every day to support us and motivate me to put my game to the higher level. And I train every day. Well, we train or we don't train, I got to do myself training every single day to put myself to the higher level. Because I know this level is a low level, but you got to fight every single day to put yourself to the higher level. Now, coach one and you two to be confident to reach somewhere.
Now, you played all these minutes. I know you could do it. You're a beast. Your fitness level is insane. Is it taking a little bit of a toll? Are you at least somewhat tired right now?
No. I can even go another, not a minute. I will not even think about getting tired. Well, I got fit, and I know I can do better with myself together.
It's incredible what you could do. Talk about what you and Ricardo and Aaron have become in the midfield. Because the three of you guys interchangeably going forward, playing back, gobbling everything up.
Yeah, we understand each other. From the beginning, it was a little bit difficult, but now it's very much okay that we play as a team and we understand each other. The three of us in the midfield, everybody go rotate and come back and get in shape, and we pick up again. So it's a very good shape. The three midfield are doing very well, and I love the communication and everything going well.
Talk about Joa's goal. He's had some golazos here with the Silverbacks. I'm not sure I've seen a better one.
Yeah, but today one was very incredible. No one expected him to kick, and he did, and he went to the corner. It was a very good goal. I appreciate him for that, and I tell him thank for that goal because it's a brilliant goal.
Now, can you put this match in perspective? You only got 1 point out of it, but the way the situation was, it didn't really mean that much. You got a lot of bodies in. You took Keka and Joa out. You feel happy about how it ended, despite sort of losing a couple of points potentially in doing so?
Yeah, I feel happy because the coach told everybody, if they told the three guys, he said you're going to play for 45 minutes, then they got to give the other guy a chance. Then it was the best chance they gave them, and they tried their best. And the three guys that went, of course, they were starting players, so it would be a little bit difficult, but it was okay. It was a good decision for the coach, and we got to respect it, and we got to work with it.
That's Abraham Lansana. Well done again. You're playing at such a high level. Appreciate it, Las. See if you can get Joa for us, please. And Sharif, if he wants to. Hey, the monkey. Maybe we hit them. Come on, monkey. He's got a lot to say. 1-1 draw. Not the most meaningful game, but we've got to look forward to the playoffs coming up, correct? Right. Okay. And your fitness level, we've seen you a couple of matches here the last few days. You feel good? You've been running a lot. All right. Well done. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks, you big ape. We'll try and get Joa here. Again, the Silverbacks a 1-1 draw, finish on 24 points. Chattanooga finishes on 28. Both teams will rest until Thursday, a couple of training sessions. Again, we're not leaving until we get Joa. We'll get Sharif, the captain. It is great to see you, my friend. It is great to see you. Hey, big guy. How are you? How do you feel physically? How is life right now?
Life is getting better. I'm getting better. I feel good right now. I've been resting a lot and doing some therapies, and life is stable now.
Have things gone into perspective a little bit? You're full bore into soccer. You obviously your son, your wife. Do you start thinking a little bit more after what happened to you a couple of weeks ago that, okay, I love soccer, but maybe I've got to step back a little bit?
No. Soccer is my thing. It's gonna be there every day, and I know my families are there, and I've been thinking a lot, but I have to go one more time.
And the prognosis, what do the doctors say? When can you start? Can you jog? Can you move a little bit? What do they want you to do now?
Yeah, they said to rest 2 weeks ago and then I'll start jogging next week. So that's a good result, and it's a progress. It's a baby steps.
And the guys are playing hard. They're playing for you. I know that. I've spoken to them. They're playing hard. They're playing well. Was it fun to watch tonight? Not you want to be out there, but was it fun to watch them do their thing?
Yeah, it's really fun to watch them playing, and feels good. Like everybody's working hard, and the result is coming. Yes. We're getting it.
Much love to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Sharif Sumi, the captain of this team, the heart and soul. Great to see him back here. Again, we're waiting on Joa. We're going to get Joa. He doesn't score goals like that and not talk to us. I'm going to go physically get him and pull him out if I have to. Let's bring in the coach right here. Very well done.
Yes.
I would say everything went according to plan tonight. You guys look really good. Professional effort, an incredible goal. Mm-hmm. You only get 1 point, but that wasn't necessarily the be-all, end-all tonight. You got a lot of guys some work.
Yeah, so I do like to save the guys for the next game because this game it's not good for us. If you win, it's going to be the same. So I'm going to keep the guys for the next game because the next game going to be if you win, you stay. If you no win, so you go home. So it's, for us, interesting to keep the players look like Keka, João. So I take the half players out. It's the reason I take everyone.
So if you assess the first 55 or so minutes. Seemed like a real professional effort. The back line was flawless. Mo and Taki, very fresh. Pedro and other guys look really good. You've got to be happy with what you saw.
Yes, so I have a lot of options. I have Alexandre, Pedro, Coloco. He's playing really good in the middle. So I believe for the next game it's going to be really complicated for him. But it's good headache.
You're going to have guys upset, guys that think they should be in the starting 11, but that is a good problem to have.
Yeah, so everyone would like to play, but I just need 11, so it's going to be good headache.
Look back at the season as a whole. Up and down in the beginning, but right now you guys are peaking. Your commitment to this team is really paying dividends right now, it appears. The confidence level, the ability, the way this team's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, so today going to be 6 months you start to work, so it's a long time. So the guys understand what I want. I believe for the next game the team going to play better. So I try to improve everyone for the 3 points. So this I try to do, improve the play for the next level.
Talk about Joa's goal. Now, you've been around soccer a long time, Brazil, the States. You couldn't have seen too many better than that one.
Yeah, so I spoke to the guys a long time ago, 6 months. I said, hey, guys, if you no kick, you no score. So Lazan tried to list me. He scored a lot of goals. So, João, today's going to be your time. So he's kicking, he scored beautiful goal. This I'm talking about. In the top of the team, you don't have, just keep the ball. Kick the ball, one ball, go in. So João, he locked his goal. Beautiful goal.
Phenomenal goal. Great effort again. Sharpen the boys up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Good luck on Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll see you here. Go get him. Please get Joa for us.
Yes.
Trying to get Joa. We're not leaving until we get him.
Okay.
Got to talk about that goal.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well done. Roberto Neves has been a breath of fresh air to this team this year for sure. Phenomenal job. He's brought in a ton of athletes. He's got depth. He's got quality. Great to see Sharif tonight. Yeah, let's get Mo. All right, so, see, first of all, you don't have the orange armband falling off you right now.
No,
Can you guys get a new armband, please?
We'll work on it for next game.
Unbelievable. You and Aaron are spending all match doing that.
I know. I think that's why they scored. I was kind of distracted by the armband. That's what.
You almost wore once. But first of all, let's talk about that play when you're on the ground.
Yeah.
You were cramping up, I assume.
Yeah.
And then when the play continued, you just had to get up.
I had to get up. I mean, I thought they, show some sportsmanship, kick the ball out, but didn't happen. So I had to get back up and get the fighting. So, and then after the play died, I sat down and got the sub.
Now, you and Ibra were fresh coming in, and you looked at every tackle, every head ball. They could not get through you in the middle there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think that's what the game plan was with Coach. Just to get some fresh legs back there. We've obviously played. This was our third game in a week, so he was trying to make sure everybody was well rested for the playoffs coming up.
And it's nice to see guys like Austin really step up, do his job. You've got Pedro who came in today. A lot of guys. There's a lot of talent, a lot of depth on this team. Some guys that are going to be upset they're not playing on Thursday that think they deserve it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about. We're here for the competition. Sometimes you have a good week of practice, and coach is like, hey, I got to reward you for your hard work. And sometimes, you just got to be that odd man out. But we've got that next man up mentality. So if everyone is capable of doing a job. So if they come in, they know what their responsibility is, and they know what the goal is, and we just have to keep working hard and work together to accomplish that.
And you realize the plan was not to have Abdul come in. Yeah. Abdul was sitting comfortably on that bench with his 33-year-old legs, and you sort of hurt him a little bit there.
Definitely, I saw he was too comfortable. I had to mess with him a little bit. So just to get his old mind moving around a little bit, let him know he can't just be that comfortable a whole 90 minutes.
And before we let you go, talk about Joa's goal. That's as good of a goal as I've seen in a long time on any level.
Yeah, that was a crack. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen when he wind up to take that shot, but I'm glad it went into the upper right corner. So sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to be willing to take that shot. So
all in all, how positive do you feel about this team? A month ago, up and down and peaks and valleys. You're firing away on all cylinders. It's got to be a much more positive feeling in that locker room right now.
Yeah, we're definitely going into the playoffs on a right foot with some confidence. And I mean, like you said, we're hot right now. Hopefully, we keep it up for the playoffs, and try to bring home the cup.
It's fun now, though, right? It's a fun feeling.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anytime you're winning and everything is going the right way, everyone's having fun, regardless of who it is. It doesn't matter what's going on in the locker room. As long as you're winning, fixes everything.
Appreciate it. Mo Isahaku, job well done.
Thank you.
Mo and Ibra in the back there were phenomenal. We're getting drilled with balls here. But a 1-1 draw in the end. Chattanooga wins the league. Congratulations to them in the Southeast Conference with 28 points on the 14 games. That's 2 points per contest. We'll see if they go forward, how that bids for a home match. The Silverbacks, 24 points in the end, 1 point in front of New Orleans. As Atlanta will get the bye, we'll play on Thursday. So thanks to everybody here, Josh and Kylie and Jordan and myself, Justin Hanover. We'll see you on Thursday. It's a good time. Let's continue the season through Saturday. Thanks to everybody here. Have a great night.